powoli przechodzimy do kolejnego naszego spotkania. Tym razem pora na wykład i to w języku angielskim. Meike Zeigler z creators.com Breaking Patterns, Moving Minds. Ja tylko oczywiście przypomnę, przedstawię sylwetkę, jeśli chodzi o Meike Zeigler. Od 10 lat prowadzi Creative Design Lab w Amsterdamie i Berlinie. Tworzy laboratorium doświadczeń, łącząc ze sobą różne światy, ludzi, sytuacje, miejsca i obiekty. Meike jest już tutaj oczywiście razem z nami. Hello, how are you?
I'm very good, thank you.
Thank
Hello.
you. Meike, you can begin your lecture. It will be about breaking patterns, moving minds, right?
Exactly. Thank
Okay,
you.
so please.
Here we go. Yes, my name is Meike Zeigler, and I design creative rituals. And what you see here is a part of a creative ritual, but today it's already a fossil. Why a fossil? Because about a year ago, we brought 22,000 people together to connect two strangers, East-West Berliners or strangers, people that didn't know each other, and in the streets, and they were asked to talk, share stories, and find common ground. And then we asked them to give each other a handshake, and in the handshake, we put a piece of clay, white, gray, any color, and it formed a hand shape, which we call hand shape, the hand shape project. And today, this is not possible anymore to connect people in a hand shape. Out of 11,000 of these, we built a wall of unification for the 30 years fall of the Berlin Wall. I will come back to this later. I design creative rituals. I call them creatuals already for many, many years. Now I have a company together with a Hungarian strategist, and we are called Creatuals. And we design for social problems or social issues in the world, for diversity of people, for religions coming together under one roof. But it all started many years ago with the rites of passage. So the moment people connect in a marriage, birth, end of life, the moments we celebrate. So what we do is we mark moments in a special way, in a modern, we actually design modern rituals, but based on the content of what it's about. Now, I'd like to share a few stories, how it all started with my own grandmother, who died when she was 96, and she was a very bright, vivid old woman. She was very curious, and she was always, I will show you, wearing a pearl necklace. I thought I'd bring the book. Like a pearl necklace, you see? And every time I'd come and visit her, she would talk about the nieces and the cousins and the uncles and aunts. And she brought me up to date. She was the connector of the family. And when she died, I asked my father, can I have her pearl necklace? This symbolizes for me what grandmother was about. And at the funeral, I held it up and I showed it to everyone. And I said, Oma, grandmother was the thread and we were her pearls. And she kept us together. But she's no longer here, so I took a pair of scissors and I cut it. And the pearls fell in a bowl, and the thread with the medallion, I attached it to a little bag, to the coffin, down into the earth it went. Everyone picked a pearl, and only in our minds we could still form this necklace. That's a creatual, specially created for my grandmother. Now, some years ago, in an old church in Amsterdam, the oldest building of Amsterdam, they had a very interesting exhibition called the Museum of Broken Relationships. And they asked me to do the opening of this story, and I asked everyone with a piece of chalk to write on the church floor their broken relationships. And underneath this floor, there's many people buried. So there's bones, there's calcium. So with calcium, we wrote all these people, their broken relationships from the past, with the people who died with. And the next day, I took a piece of a broom and took all the paintings or all the chalk drawings from the floor, and I took the powder of all the words and I made a new piece of chalk out of this. So we pass on the stories in life. There it is. The chalk created from powder of stories of broken relationships from many, many people. So you see something happening. A pearl necklace broken, pieces of chalk, calcium, writing, history. Many years ago, I was asked to come to South Africa to look at the big problems of the huge differences of rich, poor, black, white people. And as a Dutch person, as we sailed around the Cape to our colonies, I thought we'd take old ship wood, and the wood, symbolically, we asked people to write on this wood their hopes. Also, we went into the streets to ask people. With Creatures, we asked people to participate, to feel ownership, to share their stories, their intentions. And then there's a twist moment where, when everyone has written, something happens. And we built a table of hope with the wood with all the hope. So all the written stories are sealed inside this huge tabletop, and now it's in the Museum of District 6, and they organize dialogue and dinners and at the table. A year later, I went back and I took off one piece of wood and I brought it to Ghana. And in Ghana, we built another table of hope with the people from Ghana, with the communities around the Volta River, along the Volta River. And the idea was to take another piece of wood and bring it elsewhere. So building tables of wood all around the world, and the wood from the prior country is in the new one. So we're all connected. So what Creatures is about in this time, I think it's important. We have to connect. It's extremely important. We've been connected always, but we are living in a world of fast change, and a lot of people feel lost because religion is not a very important thing anymore, but we still want to give meaning to things. We have this urge of telling our stories and sharing our thoughts, but also to make things meaningful. So, being a graphic designer, where I come from, designing brands and websites and brochures and what graphic designers do, I decided I would like to create a new profession, design for meaning. And it's often very tangible. It's nothing really holy, or I'm not some priest explaining things. It makes sense. A creature is round. Like the piece of chalk we write with, it becomes a new piece of chalk as we pass on stories. So, after many years of designing these rituals, today I have the feeling it could be bigger for bigger communities, what we're doing. So that's why I created this company. And me and my partner Ivan, my work partner, decided to bring it really to the next level. So in Berlin, where I live now, because I am from Holland, I come from Amsterdam, there's a lot of layers of history. We all know about this. I'm also very interested in Poland because I'm intrigued by the Polish people and their history. Creatures is for everybody. It's about a universal language that we all understand. Everyone knows what a pearl necklace is. Everyone knows what a piece of chalk is. A table We all sit at the table every day. We eat, we talk, we discuss. A table of hope, it makes sense. So when we were triggered to create something for 30 years, Fall of the Wall for Berlin, a city that was divided for so many years, families cut into two. This hand-shape idea arose in my head, and I thought, if we can, with the same material that we build walls, create connection, create an object that connects us and build one more time a wall, but a wall, a paradox of a wall. I would like to show this little movie about Berlin.
Oczywiście to jest pora na puszczenie filmu, więc poprosimy o materiał filmowy.
Margie. 3-4 months and then a month and then 6.
Okay, now we can
Yeah, and then squeeze hard.
So it was quite impressive how people can be so different, so close to each other.
For me, the project is about confronting our internal walls and moving past them.
The Handshape.
The handshake. And today, I teach quite a lot of people how to design their own creatuals, their own meaning. People come to me, companies in change, there's a lot of transition. We're living in a time of in-between. There's walls again, 1.5 meters between us, invisible, but still. So what to do in a time where we live in today? I don't necessarily think it's a very bad thing we're in. Mother Nature has come up with something genius, I must say, to call out to us and say, hey, the planet keeps turning, but if you guys go on like this, you'll all fall off, but we'll keep turning, or I keep turning, the planet says. I think it's time for really, people have to go inside and not look outside to the leaders, to God, to... We tend to always ask outside for the answers, but this is a time I would like to call people to go inside and understand that creating from within solutions, looking and looking again, listening again, is what it's about. The media is just bombarding us with so much we don't even know what to believe anymore, what's true, what's not. It's one big reality show out there in America, I'm sorry to say, but I have some very dear Polish friends that they're helping me with building a beautiful center, actually like this villa. And I'm bringing the German builders, Polish builders, Dutch builders together, and it's so interesting to see what's happening at the table, in the pause or in the breaks. And I tell about my rituals, they tell about their stories, and it's about bringing people together, closer to themselves, and interact with themselves and the people around them. And I would really like with Creatures to say, go within yourself and interact with the people around you. The big leaders, they're also trying to do their best, and Creators can really help us to understand the basics of life, the beauty of life, and what it's all about.
Thank you very much.